Okay, today we're going to be working on decomposing numbers for addition. So we're going to be working with some partial sums. There's different ways to be able to do this. So for example, if we have the number 729 plus 364. Now we've been working with numbers, base 10 blocks, popsicle sticks, all the above. So we need 700s. And we all know that these are hundreds. So that's 100. 100 is also 10 tens. It's also 100 ones. So we're breaking the number apart in expanded form, which we've already learned as well. So that means there's going to be 700 in this number because there's 700s. And there's 300s in this number if we're doing it in partial sums. In this number we're going to have 20. In this number we're going to have 60, which is 6 tens. We're writing them in the standard form. But Miss Haycraft is saying them also in the unit form. Then I have 9 ones, and we have 4 ones. Now each one of these numbers, this is an add-in because you're adding. So this is one part and this is one part. So these are 2 add-ins. This is also 2 add-ins. But since we broke these numbers apart into the place value at which they are called partial sums. So if we were to add 700 plus 300, that means that we're going to get 1,000, or 10 hundreds, or 100 tens, or 100 ones. If we were to add 2 tens plus 6 tens, that's going to give us 8 tens. But this is written in standard form. If we have 9 plus 4, a lot of us can say, well, I need one more to make a 10. So if I break down my 4, I can make a 10. So then I have a 10 because these two add together. And I have 3 left over, so therefore I would have 13 there. Now I would have to add all of my partial sums together. Now, what I don't like is, do you see how our ones places over here and our other ones are not in line? I don't like adding like that. So I can add in my head since it's partial sums, and a lot of them have zeros. However, this 13 here has a 10 in it. So I'm just going to decompose it to a 10 and a 3 and add that up here to my 10. To my 80 to get 90, and now I have 3 that's left. So my answer would be 1,000 plus 90 plus 3, because those are my partial sums. Because when you're doing an addition problem, the answer is considered to be a sum. That's the vocabulary word. So I would have 1,000 plus 90 plus 3, which is going to give me the answer of 1,000. I don't have any hundreds. 93. Now I said we didn't have any hundreds, but we also know that in our thousands, that means there's 10 hundreds. So technically we do. I just didn't have a digit that I needed to put in my place value in the hundreds place. So our answer to 729 plus 364 using the partial sums model is 1,093. Now, this is writing it horizontally. You can also decompose numbers writing them in the other way. Now, I'm not expecting you to write this down. This is Miss Haycraft teaching. I'm going to give you one that you have to work at the end. So I'm going to erase that. But I'm going to leave my problem up here because I'm going to rewrite my problem because this is horizontally, but I'm going to write it stacked. 729 plus 364. Now some of us want to write our problems like this, and it's completely fine, but we're still going to do the partial sums model. And what I'm going to do, not underneath of my problem, but over here to the side, I'm going to say, well, I can add 700 plus 300, and that's going to give me 1,000. So I'm going to put my answer right here. And then I can say 20 plus 60 is going to give me 80. Now when I put 80, I'm not going to put my 8 in my thousands place. I'm going to think of that place value chart, and I'm going to put my 8 and 0 where they should be according to my place value chart. And then my last is going to be 9 plus 4. And of course I'm going to get excited because I can decompose that 4 to make a 10. And I have 3 more, so that's going to be 13. So I'm going to put 13 there. And now I'm going to add all my partial sums. Remember, vocabulary is big. These are called partial sums because sums is the answer to an addition problem. And this is partial because it's just part of the number that we're adding. Then I can go down through here and go, well, I've got 3 here, I've got 9 here, I have nothing here, and I have 1 here. Make sure to put your comma because we count back 3, and it's 1,093. So this is another way that we can use partial sums in decomposing for addition. Okay, so that's Miss Haycraft teaching you how to do it. Now we've got a lot of vocabulary words that we're working with on this. So let's think about this. How about if we did the number 815 plus 148. Now if we use the partial sums and decomposed it, how could you do it? Now if you wanted to go over here and write it the other way, you could do that too, but I want you to work it out on your paper. Then we can draw our line. I'm going to work that out on your paper. I'm also going to show you exactly how I expect your paper because sometimes we are unaware of this. When you're writing on your paper, you need to have the thick white at the top and the holes need to be going to your left. So you want the paper to look like this in front of you. You want to put your name on your paper and make sure to put who's your homeroom teacher on the paper. So if we were writing it, the red line, we're going to stay on this side of the red line. And if we're writing it horizontally, you're going to put 815. You're going to stay on that blue line. And you're going to add 148. And you're going to write it just like this on your paper and put an equal sign. We're not going to have the problem going downhill or uphill or anything like that. Now, if you were going to write it this method, I'm going to go down the paper and I'm going to rewrite it because you do not have to do it both ways. I'm going to put 815 plus, and I probably shouldn't have done that close. Now that I realize it, I'm going to erase it. I should not have put it that close because I need to be able to put my addition sign. Then I'm going to put my 815 and I'm going to put 148. Some of my questions that I always ask. How many ones are in, oh sugar doodle, that's what I get for being so still in our classroom. There we go, there's our lights again. How many ones are in 815? Alright, I want you to answer that. If you said 815, you are correct. How many tens are in 815? If you said 81 tens, you are correct. What is 815 rounded to the nearest 10? First thing you have to do is draw that open number line, or think about it in your head, one of the two. You know, tens, there's 81 tens in this, so writing that in standard form is 810. One more 10 is 820. Halfway in between those two is going to be 815. So our data point is right there on our midpoint. Anytime we've got 5 or more, it's got to round up. So therefore, you should have said it rounded to 820. Good job. Last question before I'll let you get to work on your addition problem. What is 815 rounded to the nearest 100? Remember, number line, you can always make it. How many hundreds are in this number? There are 8 hundreds. So that's how we write it in standard form. 8 hundreds. One more 100 is 900. Halfway in between is 850. If I put this on if I put my data point on, 815 is going to go right there. So therefore it's going to round to 800. That is the correct answer. These are all review questions we keep going over. Now let's get back to our addition. Remember, we're decomposing numbers for addition, so we're making them into partial sums. What is the answer to 815 plus 148? If you did the problem this way, you're going to say, well, I have to have 800. I'm going to zoom in some here. There we go. Go ahead and erase this so it's not showing up on the back of it as well. So we have 800 plus 100, which equals 900. We have 10 plus 40, which is 50. And then we have 5 plus 8. Now I can make a 10 with that. So if I decompose this, break it apart, I have my 8 and my 2 makes a 10, so it's 13. And now I made sure to line my ones up, so I have 3, I have 6, and I have 9. So when I add up my partial sums, that's what these are. So my answer would be 963 to 815 plus 148. Now if I chose to do it this way, then I'm going to come over here and put 800 plus 100. Then I'm going to come back over here and underneath of it and put 900, because that's what that equals. I'm going to have 10 plus 40. So I'm going to come back over here and put 50. Line up my place values. And then I'm going to have 5 plus 8, which I can decompose. I know that 2 plus 8 is a 10. That leaves me 3. So it makes my 10. So 13. I put that right in my place value. Look at how I'm lining up. I'm not writing everywhere on my page. When I add my partial sums together, I get 3, 6, 9. So my answer is 963. This is written in standard form, but we can also do numbers in expanded form. Expanded form led us to being able to decompose partial sums. So one more problem, and I'll let you solve it, and we'll see if you can get it right. Let's do 327 plus 176. You work that out on your paper and then put it in to the computer. Just to review on some of our vocabulary, partial sums are what you break down. Add-ins are what you add together in an addition problem, add-ins. And what an addition problem equals is the sum.